go through to round of 4 of the lower bracket and get themselves one step closer to TI-12. And I'll tell you what, while we're talking about MTD, can this guy not play like a normal mid-hero? Does it always have to be something weird coming out from this boy?
Yes. It's got to be a Shaker. It's got to be a Zeus. I'm trying to recall, did we see him play Magic Lena when it was starting to pop off?
I think
he
so.
might have. Yeah. I love it. There you go, Ade. The cut versus the cut graduates, Empyrean, MTD. Oh, this is a fun one. You know? Shaggy's like, cut down to chat. It's like, no, we're not going to get that.
Oh,
this is going to be an all-chat game.
Sad man, he might be getting the cut experience here, John. Try to charge away will not work out. Sadly, it's cancelled off and Sad man's gone. Welcome to the cut, they say. Your first lesson.
Welcome to the cut. Let us cut you off right now. Oh, poor Shaggy. He was having such a good time in that draft camera as well, right? He was having a good laugh, but he dies first. Agent Shaggy, perhaps.
That happens. What can you do? Bottom, Aeon, not going to contest. Too many heroes around, he'll just leave it be. Looks like it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade, I believe, on the bounties anyway, so a nice even start. And while we're here, what about this bottom lane? You've got this Alchemist. Going to be up against the Clock and the Visage lane, so Lil Nick and Giant going to try and slow him down as much as possible. And of course, he's going to be supported by the +5 Weaver of B-God. Pretty interesting lane, because the Clockwork Visage is actually a really strong duo to have. It could be pretty hard for B-God and Scourge to actually sustain themselves in this lane if they do get caught out by Giant.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky. And once you have the cogs up, zipping in and out here for B-God's not going to be a simple matter. And you've always got this annoying soul assumption spam.
Oh, B-God went a bit far. He's going to be okay by the looks of it. A fair bit of damage, soul assumption out. It's not going to be enough. B-God will survive. But you've got to be a little bit wary at level 1 with that Sakuchi. You know, it's a long cooldown.
That it is. And already with the early sentry down here as well for the goons, setting up for that lane quite nicely here down bot. B-God, he's going to hit his stride once perhaps level 2, level 3 comes out, whether or not he gets the value point in Swarm. And there's some good synergy. The Swarm plus Acid Spray plus Unstable Concoction, it's like that old Venge combination we used to see with Alk Venge. So there's some play potential, but you have to prevent that bleed out in the early levels. And so far, Lil Nick and Giant doing a great job of just managing Scourge McDuck. We tend to see Scourge McDuck get away with pretty free lanes. Not so much the case in here, although he is still farming well.
Yeah, that he is. How's that top lane going? You've got Boris and that +1 Naga. Of course, he's currently against Sad Man, who's just annoying the crap out of him on this the Spirit Breaker, and you have Empyrean and Ade going at it as well across the other side of the top lane. And this lane also seems kind of devastating for the cut, that is. Like, you've got Iron Shell plus Spirit Breaker charge. It can be very hard to play against. But for now, they are just creep skipping and creep pulling, just trying their best to not have to go for the actual 2v2 matchup at this top lane. Get those initial levels first and then move out from there. See, for the Darkseer, you want to hit level 3 so you have that level 2 Iron Shell up. And that way you can really start to get aggressive as bottom lane. Speaking of aggression, Giant has gone down.
You have to respect that Acid Spray and Swarm coming out. Neither of your heroes really have the right click just instantly clear out the Swarm. Kind of have to coordinate on attacking the one that's latched onto the Clockwork. So the Minor's armor stacking plus Unstable, again, that's physical damage. It's going to be amped up quite a fair bit. Have to respect that. No sentries down anymore. They've got the counter sentries here on the cut. I think going back to your point about top lane, the one thing about all these pulls is that it feels a lot worse for Sad Man. Right? Like, as a Phoenix, you're enjoying just staying down there, trading with the Darkseer because you're soaking EXP for free. Sadman's not really able to do as much. Not able to grab as much, not able to steal some creeps away. It is to the benefit of Ade, but your level spikes now on the Spirit Breaker are going to be a lot slower because of that.
A bit of action bottom lane, it seems. B-God, no, he's going to be alright. He'll just Sakuchi out. Top lane. Sadman trying to be as annoying as possible towards Boris, and this is that point where the Iron Shell starts to hurt quite a lot at that level 2 mark. See if they do try to make some big jumps in at the top lane, but for now it seems like a slow chip away. And Boris not really getting out of position on the Nagasar and realizing how dangerous things could get very quickly. will not give them the opening they're looking for as Sadman gets a little bit deep. Takes a T1 tower hit, but is going to be okay.
Empyrean doesn't quite fully commit with the dive. Does just want to keep Sadman. Maybe just forcing him to waste some time. He will have the charge back. Down bot though.
A bit of a dive in. Looks like they have got B-God this time, so Giant catching him with the cogs. Scourge actually still trying to farm at the moment. Battery Assault is going to end, but they do have a Blood Grenade if they really wanted to keep chasing. It's like Little Nick does have a full creep wave though to deal with, so would rather not. They're already securing B-God anyway, and the Weaver's going to feel good enough for them, and that's kind of what we talked about, right? Like, if you catch somebody in the cogs by themselves, chances are they are just going to die to this combination.
Yeah, it's still a lot of output. You have to really respect just how much Soul Assumption can build up with Battery Assault on top. They have wasted a lot of resources in the counter D-ward once more. Giant already has a preemptive sentry ready to go. So they should just be able to cut off B-God's influence in that lane and just constantly waste resources. Like, this does not feel good for a Weaver who wants to build into that medallion as a support. Can be a little bit slower. We haven't really managed to take a look at mid too much, although that's mainly because the silence are pretty aggressive. You are dropping a little bit flow on AD top, but
Empyrean, he gets bashed. He's okay, he'll Icarus dive out. Very close call there for Empyrean. Sadman just getting bashes left, right, and center. So this can be such a devastating combination. The off lane of the top lane is now bottom. They've lost Scourge McDuck on the Arc. Giant's going to be chased by B-God. He's still okay, though. He'll eventually die, but Lil Nick might find a trade, but no. He's out of mana. No mana for the Soul Assumption, so B-God will be okay. But I suppose you got the bigger kill anyway. You wanted the Archimist, you want to slow down this guy's farm, and that they are.
They certainly are. Just, again, working this aggression well. Very straightforward lane, Clockwork Cops damage. You just pump out the Soul Assumption. With the sentries and the vision you have here on the side of the goons, it's pretty alright.
Pretty rough as the mid-earth shaker in situations like this where you just get completely surrounded, though. He's going to commit the Echo!
Sure?
Oh, he's got one! And he'll just walk out. Well, hold on a minute. I mean, I didn't think they were going to stack up like that, John.
Yeah, they don't respect the slam. Like, he got hit by the Shikuchi, so obviously he can tell it's going to be a big slam coming out. And MTD's crushed this lane, man. At some point, it's like 16 to 32. In the early wave, like nearly ×2 CS on MTD. This is not a lane you expect the Pango to do that roughly in, but MTD knows how to play that mid shaker.
And here comes the Caster's Curse. MTD? No,
what
he's...
curse?
well, let's see, John. Sadman? No,
yeah,
he's not going to go in.
Oh, Mikey.
Lil Nick, in the meantime,
no.
bottom lane, he's killed Scourge again. Empyrean shows up this time to help out. More importantly, the Archimist dying a second time. Not a very good feeling here for Scourge.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see here for the cut. Al can recover quite nicely. They're still committing onto MTD.
They are still trying. The heals come out, though. Oh, he's not going to die. Oh, Empyrean makes it in time. The level 1 Sunray proving to just be enough.
Oh my god. That is so discouraging for the cut right now.
Lil Nick?
That is so discouraging.
Lil Nick? Surely Lil Nick dies. Surely he dies. Yeah, he does. Okay. B-God. Should be alright. I mean, Giant maybe gets him the cogs. He does. B-God, does he actually go down here? It seems like he may just. The stun coming in is going to be enough, though, that Giant does go down to boot. So you get a bit of a trade going. Not too bad for either side. Definitely in favor of the cut, who desperately need the kills right now.
Yeah, it's a nice little pickup for the cut. You get a little bit of an injection out for Scourge McDuck, some solo XP with his support dying. So he's allowed to build a little bit more. I don't know if you want to keep clumping around a shaker, man. Maxed out Aftershock. Like, he can just stop you in your tracks. It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, they just wanted the power rune anyway. It's Sadman's trying his best to ensure Aeon gets all the power runes here.
Man,
MTD.
Just look at MTD's build. I love this. Not even a value point Fisher. Who needs it? Play with Enchant. Play with Aftershock. You don't need Fisher. You don't need no blocks. Nah. Just right-click.
Screw the Fisher. All my homies hate Fisher, John. So MTD's got a great job here. He has the blink up now.
8.5 minutes.
Well, to be fair, he has basically rushed it, right? Brown Boots, Wand, and Bottle, but he has got the blink up with Echo available, and I mean, now he has level 1 Fish at a bit. So he kind of realizes, okay, I might need 1 level in this, otherwise my team's going to lose their crap at me. But it seems like he can start making rotations if he really wants to, which he may just now.
And they're playing really aggressive right now on the side of the American Goons. They're constantly applying pressure down bot. They've managed to buy a lot of free space now for Boris to just farm up on that Naga. They're getting some solo EXP going for Empyrean. It's all starting to line up. Starting to group down bot here, looking for that angle. Still wanting to slow down Scourge McDuck. Still trying to go into that Radiance to counteract the illusions.
Well, they won't find anything down at bottom. Up the top, Scourge going to show himself on the Naga illusions, so they know where he is. He does have help around him though, and it seems like side of American Goons just going to try and secure this bottom tier 1 tower for now. As Boris, he's in pretty big trouble. Needs a way out. Problem is the charge is incoming, so they've got constant vision, and Boris is just down. Here comes the Echo though. MTD finding 2 targets. He should at least have Sadman, but can they get Aeon? That's the bigger target. Aeon's going to go for a run. They've got the vision with the rocket flare though, and eventually it seems like he may just be dead. So he will swash away 1 more time. Surge out as well. Aeon still running. Fisher back up for MTD, but he doesn't throw it out. Eventually does, but the raindrops. The raindrops will block out the damage necessary to get the kill. So they will barely save Aeon's life, only losing Sadman.
That's a massive win. He managed to get some good pickoffs going here. He managed to get that kill onto Boris. You're starting to get some activity out for the side of Caught, and you're starting to buy some space out for Scourge McDuck. Now all of that pressure is relieved down bot. He gates back down, gets his farm going. Radiant's starting to ramp up as the 2 camps clear out. His tower does fall, so the forward bottom jungle, it's maybe a little bit more dangerous for him to stay around. I think for the Goons right now, you want some forward vision. If they don't have too many wards up, they've got 1 ward watching the ramp area down that bot jungle, but they need further vision to spot out this Elk to get that hunt going on to Scourge McDuck, because we've seen what happens when Scourge McDuck just farms. He's had a lot of games where the Cuts, you know, maybe not doing the best in the mid game, but giving him a ton of space, and that space always pays back here for the Cut.
No, he's certainly getting there now. Second in net worth as the Elk. Obviously he wants to be first most of the time, but does need a bit of time to get that Radiance up before that stage. Lil Nix actually had a really damn good time in the Visage. Now sitting in second in net worth and pretty much has the items he needs to be aggressive with that solo crest. Sadman going for a bit of a charge in, does cancel. Rather, does get pushed back by the cogs. I suppose for the cut right now, you are just playing a very slow game. Like you just want to buy more space for the Alchemist. You know, you can play aggressive as much as you want, as long as Scourge McDuck is surviving and hitting creeps. They'll be right. The Goons are kind of doing the same thing though, like maybe just waiting for those next power spikes before they get going. Though I say that, MTD has smoked up with Empyrean. They are heading up top where Ade is hanging around. Ade, oh that's a nice hook. Giant, he's gonna find the Darkseer. The lockdown in the cogs, Ade, he could still try to go for a run, but it's gonna be pretty damn hard with all the control. MTD is not wasting any time, ensuring they get the kill with the Echo. And that's going to be his 4th of the game.
Yeah, he's done a spectacular job on the Shaker. And this is him without his shard. I think once you get that added utility as well with a shard, it's going to be a lot easier for him to get these pickoffs, get these catches that he'd want for the team. The space is being distributed great here on the Goons. Boris having free farm, but Lil Nick as well with the Ags build up, with the shard build up. He is looking for the Assassin build up on the Visage. So he's going to be able to look for some of the softer backline. If you can get chain control into B-God, it's not going to be too much trouble killing off that Weaver.
Giant. Giant currently in the middle of nowhere, feeling a little bit charitable, does give some gold over to Scourge McDuck. Fair enough, Scourge will be very happy with that. Not sure what Giant's idea was in that position, but maybe just scouting out for his team. Just trying to suss out where everyone is.
I've been seeing a lot of copy passes, although Aeon?
Well, he's taking a lot of damage. Aeon, he's just dead. Sadman trying to help out, may just die with him, it seems. As Sadman, he'll go for a run, but they've got the stuns out and he's down. Another double coming out for American Goons. Oh, the cut. I mean, they're trying to fight back, but it's pretty rough.
That they are. There's a lot of back and forth. You're trading away Aeon, you're feeding into Lil Nick and onto MTD. And once this BKB is up for the Shaker, he's not going to have too much to be scared about.
Oh,
They're trying
Cogs.
to grab the Wisdom Rune. They find it.
Yeah, Cog's a bit too short. It happens. Mid lane, MTD trying to back off. Chases on from RA. Oh, the vacuum doesn't connect. Oh, they're trying everything, but it's no good. Sadman's gone a bit far. Sadman may just be dead. And it looks like eventually he will be. They got him. You were saying something about copy passes, John. What's going on?
Yeah, so, okay, before that, Giant still dueling B-God. They fought over to his Wisdom Runes. They're still going.
Okay, B-God. He's going to lose this one.
All right, so I can give some context. I was checking chat for a bit. There are a lot of people saying stuff about Giant. He's the most gigantic player in NA. He's a giant genius, stuff like that. He's dying. He's feeding to as a Giant play because he's boosting morale as the slams out.
MTD gets him, and you know what? Giant was right behind him, John. He's boosting morale, like they said. Just the presence of Giant behind MTD is just too much.
See, when Giant dies, apparently this is what Chad is telling us. When Giant dies, it's to boost the team morale to open up misplays later on from overconfidence on it. So it's all a 5-head play from Giant, obviously.
And this is why we've got the experts sitting in the chat, John. You and I, we're just here for the lols. Bottom lane. Boris, I'm not sure what the game plan is here, sir. I mean, he's got rotations coming in, but there are a lot more rotations coming in from the cut right now. They're trying to jump the outcomes, but Boris is the one dropping low. He'll back his way out. The egg, it's been used up. Nobody taking it down. Does it get taken? Oh, it does. They had just enough. It was like half a second away from exploding. It took a little bit too long, like the song setup that they had going. Gives them a bit too much time for the cut to react. And even the charge now on Giant, who's about to boost the morale of his team even more, John. The Giant, now he'll put the cogs down, he'll decide to live today.
Yeah, just for today. Not worth the morale boost just yet. A little bit unfortunate. You don't tend to see a mass TP onto the outpost work out too well, but there was just so long until the control came in from the side of the Goons for them to build off of that song that there was enough time, and that's a costly death. Boris trying to make use of that Orchid feels like he can deal with the Alk, but you don't have the highest durability egg at level 1. You have enough attack speed, of course, with all of the heroes clumped up to clear out that. And the side of the cut, they're doing a great job. You're pulling ahead now on Scourge Muktak. The Radiance has been up and running. He's got the blink to get aggressive. And for the side of the Goons, it does feel like they're still playing a little bit more split up. They need more items up. And they've got the Shard on Lil Nick. It's not going to be enough. You need that Silent as a Grave to really start to work the map, to really look for these softer backline to get some more damage going. And you need more levels. I think the big thing that's holding them back is Empyrean being stuck at 8. If you had level 12 somehow, if you managed to soak up a little bit more, or if you just have the patience to wait for that 12, level 2 egg starts to become a lot less manageable. Although, up against the Alk, you really do have to be on point with the chain stuns. Like, Lil Nick has to be perfect with a micro into the stone form here to buy that space for the egg.
Yeah. Not easy. To be fair, Empyrean was right in the middle with that egg last time, so maybe just a bit more, needs a bit more of a positional advantage for the next team fight, but certainly the level 2 egg gonna help a lot in not dying that easily. They are still maintaining some decent control of Scourge as well. Like, he really has not taken off in terms of net worth. He might be at the top, but he's only about, what, 1k behind the Naga Siren? And Boris is getting to the stage where he's working towards the Heart of Tarask next. His mid lane, Sadman, will get caught again. They've got Aeon to help out with the Rolling Thunder. Sadman's going to try and go for a run and actually makes it out for now. Wall has been dropped with the vacuum. Empyrean forced Icarus dive away. Giant hook-shotting out. Everyone making it for now. Meanwhile, towards the south, Lil Nick. Lil Nick trapped up, trying to fight, trying to survive. Aeon in the meantime dropping low to boot. Nobody's died yet somehow. Lil Nick will finally go down. That'll be one. All that action and one person dies.
That was on the edge. They had to pop all their ults here on the American Goons to save themselves. Even the slam being committed by MTG, trying to look for that kill onto Aeon, but not enough echo damage coming out there. A little bit costly, way costlier for the side of the American Goons. Massive cooldowns committed. The side of the cut don't really need to wait for too much. So they're more than happy to force that out. Heck, he forced out the first BKB charge out from MTD. Not the best feeling for the Shaker right now. Starting to miss out on some opportunities. They need to connect a little bit better. That was very forced out, that movement. And he did miss the initial stun onto Sadman. Like, that missed Fisher kind of allowed Sadman to break that fight open for the side of the cut. Still, then you're getting some space out. Boris is at least not getting jumped. He's going for the heart next. And once you do have this Naga heart, that's where things can maybe get a little bit tougher with a split push at the very least here for the side of the Goons.
Oh, 10 to 14 now. Very low net worth lead. Less than 1k for the side of American Goons. The thing is, though, like, you've got an Alchemist on the other side, so that net worth lead you've got on the Goons is actually a pretty damn good feeling right now against this Alchemist. We are going to have a quick pause. We've lost some audio for B-God, apparently, which is not very nice. Meantime, looking at win probability, it's 52% the way of American Goons at the moment, so very, very close game between these two teams. Which I'd agree with, John, considering how the game's gone, it really does feel like anyone's game at the moment. And before we went into this series, it felt like this was going to be a close one, so none too surprising we're having a very close game one.
And we are. And again, both these teams know each other very well. They've had their friends, they've had ex-members across the board. So, leads to some fun games, especially for chat. I have no idea where all these copy pasta spams came out. I've been noticing it since we casted the American Goons games yesterday. I'm like, it's just some pretty sick copy pastas about Giant. I'm enjoying it. It's not really, you know, it's just good copy pasta, good quality pasta.
You could say it's a Giant personality jump.
He makes some Giant plays, some Giant mistakes, but, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Giant. Here we go. Smoke out from American Goons. Up towards the top lane they go. Alright, hook shot, perfect from Giant. There you go. He's got him again. Speaking of the devil, Alright, gets caught. Giant will proudly walk away as MTD will take his 7th kill of the game as the Earthshaker. By the way, John, the fun's coming very soon because MTD is about to become a basketball player. With this Aghanim Scepter build up, the fun begins.
Oh, it does, Mikey. That it will. A lot more output. I'd love to see him get a crit at some point, either the Silver Edge or full Daedalus. I think that at this point, you are doing the damage. It's not going to be the Naga doing damage. It's not going to be anyone else. It is going to be MTD looking for that burst play. They will make their way into Roshan through the gate. No scans available for the side of the cut. So it should be a freebie coming out here for the side of the American Goons. Not like you'd want to force a fight in this tight area anyway, with the egg and the song. And MTD will pick up the Aegis. So a secondary line for him to play up front. Still has the BKB ready to go at 8 seconds here. Now they just need to capitalize on this. Like, they've got pretty much everything you could ask for initial damage here. The heart is not too far off from Boris. They can start to look for these tier 2s and start to really shut down this map. Start to shrink that space for Scourge McDuck to farm it.
Yeah, and Scourge is still just about 1k ahead of the Naga Siren. Like, he's getting the farm up, but it just seems way too slow to really have that big impact you're looking for. And Boris, in the meantime, he's about 700 gold away from the full Heart of Taraska up on the Naga. A nice power spike for him. The cut, they've smoked up as 3, heading towards an... Oh, they saw MTD. MTD shows them the creep wave. It's a huge target. He's 7-0-4 at the... Or 7-0-3 rather on the Earthshaker. But instead, the cut, they're moving up north towards Lil Nick. I guess maybe not feeling confident enough to go after the Shaker, they'll try for the Visage. But Lil Nick, he seems to know maybe something is a little bit awry because he's backing his way towards the base. Not fast enough though as the charge is incoming. And Lil Nick eventually will get caught out and should just die.
Yeah, what can you do, right? You caught the gank for your team. You get chain stunned, not even able to get his own stone form off. It happens. That is space. unfortunately, they're not really capitalizing on the goons, not looking for a push onto tier 2. So that's really not achieving too much. MTD's coming out now.
Why the hell not? He TP'd out to try and help. Fish is going to land. Hook off the mark. Giant just not feeling it. And I wanted to give a bit of charity over to the other team because he's giantly charitable, Jonathan. He doesn't want to be rude to the other boys.
And he is. He is a magnanimous player, Mr. Giant, of course. Gigantic in every single way. In his kindness, in his plays, and his
gigantic
stats.
play about to happen. There you go. Walked right out of there, John.
Just threats. You know, Shaggy knows. Sending a message to Giant. He's not intimidated by his giant aura.
That's right.
Giant needs to get a Giant's ring later on. It's his ring. It's named after him.
This is why I don't like you reading chat, because you get all these stupid ideas.
What do you mean? What do you mean, stupid? These are great. This is great. This is NA Dota. It's all about chat, baby.
It is.
That's what it is.
It is true. We love NA Dota. Here comes the cut. They're all just stacked up to the middle. Like, the cuts, it almost looks like they feel very uncomfortable. Like, they're very grouped up together. They're not separating very much. Like, you have a bit of split pushing going on from Arde, but that's about it. You know, he's just doing Darkseer things. Maybe if you are the cut, like, you're confident in your own draft to drag this out a little bit longer. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, you've got a Darkseer who scales really well. You've got a Pango who can scale really well. I suppose the Weaver in some sense can scale really well as bottom lane. There is going to be
double damage with Ags for MTD.
Uh-oh.
It's coming.
Oh no. Double damage and Aghanim Scepter with an Orb of Destruction available for MTD. Let's see how this one works out. He's jumping in. He almost found B-God. B-God, don't show yourself, sir. He's going to hit for over 1k with this hit.
Kill him.
Oh, he hasn't seen it. He'll go after the tower instead. B-God's like, oh no, they caught him. B-God's caught. Run, B-God.
Oh! MTD 803. What a maniac. This guy playing mid Earth Spirit once again and just popping off. Good God.
Well, Sad Man's going to go for a bit of a charge in. Risky play, but we'll make it out. It's a 4v5, but the thing is they have the Aegis on MTD for another minute. So it's really a 4v6 right now in some sense. And Scourge McDuck, he's still farming the top side of the map, so he's not even around the base. Just hoping they back off themselves, and it seems like they will. Well, the Goons are instead going for a bit of a smoke up as a team. But they don't really have any targets to go for at the moment. Like, everyone's just hanging around the Radiant base. You don't have Roshan for another 3.5 minutes at least. They'll head through the Twin Gates, maybe try to find Scourge, but Scourge has made his way back towards the base.
Yeah.
Unless MTD finds him.
Oh?
It seems like are they going to walk towards the Radiant Triangle, I wonder?
Nah.
By that I mean the cut, they are going to smoke. So Scourge is going to be smoked, rather they're going to smoke behind Scourge. Now they'll group up together. MTD's
it's just not
showing.
going to last long.
Charges out. He's got the Echo, he's got an Arcane Rune available, he's got a Blink up as well, but they'll get the wall down. This could be huge, and they've got him.
Oh, that's
MTD with the first death.
Aegis just expired. Literally just a second before. Like, they just got that timing perfectly.
Perfect
Great smoke
timing.
coming out. The biggest kill you could ask for. 8-1 to 3. MTD getting his first death, as you mentioned, and now they can just collapse on everyone else.
Nice hook shot from Giant. Gets his way out of there, so won't feed any more kills back the way of the cut for now, but the charge is still on. They really want a bit more than just one. They won't find it, though. Everyone behind the tier 2 tower is going to be just fine, though. B-God still scouting for his team, going after Giant and the clockwork, but now will be surrounded himself. And B-God will get tipped by Giant.
See, that's where the mental play of Giant comes in. You know, he misses his hooks onto V-God. V-God feels confident running up. No, Giant's not alone this time.
It really is genius.
That's a Giant play right there.
It really is genius. I'll tell you.
You know what else is genius, Mike? I'll give you a pretty interesting counterpoint for your Pangolier here. Naga Ags could be an item, right?
Speaking of the Pango, John. Here we go. Aeon. You know, he has a Lotus Orb at least, but it seems like it's not going to help very much. Little Nick able to secure the kill. You were saying the Naga Aghanim Scepter, I believe.
For Rolling Thunder. Can you imagine that? It's not really a rush item for Boris, but it's a solution if it's a problem.
I like it.
I don't
Kind
think
of
we're
funny
gonna
seeing
see
a
it.
Rolling Thunder just going nowhere but backwards.
Right? It's just like, why? All right, a little Naga's net can stop Pangolin's roll. Okay.
Makes sense.
I suppose. It is a net, I guess.
It is. Top plane. Sad man.
Oh,
Spotted. Giant. Hook shot. Perfect. He's found Sad man. Now the strike is available, but he can't get it off. He could try to use his Shadow Blade, but the cogs just last too long. He's done it again.
yeah, good old Giant. You know, sometimes he misses those hooks on purpose, and then he lands the big ones that matter, nailing them big kills. There's one thing I'm not quite sure if it works this way. If you have Enchant Totem up and you have Defiant Shell, if you attack back, does it waste your Enchant Totem?
I don't know.
Or do you get a free use? That's the one thing I never tested and I've never encountered. So I'm like, I forget.
Maybe we'll find out. I think MTD would know if anyone. Maybe there's a reason why he picked up this Defiant Shell as the Echo Slam comes in onto Aeon. Aeon's dead.
Ooh.
Giant will secure the kill for his team. Huge play from Giant.
That was a gigantic flare coming out from Giant. Outstanding. Cleaning up, knowing that MTD wouldn't want to waste the right click, in danger on the high ground. You know, he's like, all right, I'm gonna save you the trouble, buddy. Get out of there. Save your life. I'll take the kill.
Here we go, MTD again. Rocket Player's actually going to give Vision of B-God and Scourge, I think. In fact, no, never mind, it does not. Giant, he's found Sad Man. Hookshot's going to actually land on the Familiars. Arde's going to be there with the Vacuum, but in comes Boris from the south. Moving in on to the Spirit Breaker, and with the Enchant Toad and MTD just deletes him. Sadman is brought back though. He'll try to charge into the team fight, onto the Earthshaker, but there's your song out. Everyone just leave. Get out of there. The fight's over, boys.
Just bailing
Everyone's
out.
fine. Only Empyrean dies.
I think that would have been a fight for the side of American Goons if they had Slam up and if they had a Phoenix round with Egg. That might have been a better solution for them. No Slam for MTD, despite all the illusions being around, meant that they couldn't really try to turn. And they find a decent enough pick-off here from the cot. They managed to waste again. Another BKB charge coming out here from MTD without too much being lost. So some of those resources are dwindling down for the American Goons. And they are still stalling, which is really all you want with your Alchemist right now. At the same time, your Alchemist is starting to get fully slotted up. Still looking for a bit of a chase.
MTD, he's the big one you love to see go down if you are the cut. Fisher will land on one. Enchant Totem away into the tier 2 tower. They still want to chase. He's got help incoming though. 4-staff away from Giant. Enchant Totem again, he is fine. He has broken the gap. They are still chasing the man down, but MTD, he's in the base now. How far have they gone? Empyrean, he's going to drop the egg, go for the fighting. Comes Boris as well. And they have at least got Aeon. Aeon is gone. Arde trying to get out on the Darkseer. Meanwhile, to the side, Sandman's in trouble. So they have got the Darkseer nullified up with the Ensnare to lock him down. Arde will surely just go. They continue to just control him through the surge. Nullify again. And eventually Arde will drop. That was such a deep dive. Such a desperation play that just doesn't work out.
The side of the American Goons were ready. They had a 4-staff out. They just drag MTD all the way back. And they managed to punish. They find 2 good core pickoffs for their trouble. And Scourge McDuck, again, still managing to run away. But we're not feeling the impact of his Alchemist right now. It doesn't feel like it's really doing too much in these engagements. And at some point, you've got to ask yourself, can your Alch really scale into that ultra late game stage up against this Naga Siren? Because you're always going to have to keep that Radiance in. It's going to take up a slot, but the Naga gets to the point where it's going to be really durable. You're already at that point with a Heart. So you've got a dead item slot that you can't replace. You could start to think about feeding Ags, I suppose. Like a free Ags coming out for Aeon would be big. A free Ags for B-God would be massive if you can somehow build up. But that's going to take a little bit more time. Roshan is up. the side of the American Goons clearing it out here.
Bigot, I believe, got spotted there for a moment. And Chad Totem does connect. MTD should have the control necessary to take him out along with the familiars of Little Nick. But no, the time lapse is out. MTD now caught. Hook shot from Giant, though, going to save MTD, who's going to make a run out of there. And he's fine. He's going to go for the TP back to the fountain. MTD's made it. Problem is, Roshan is so darn low. They can't really leave the area at the moment. They've lost one. There goes Giant. Lil Nick's in trouble. Lil Nick, he'll go into the stone form himself. They'll even drop the song. And oh, look at this.
They've got the egg.
Oh, they've got the egg. All lined up as 3. Can they time it well? It seems like perhaps they can. They'll stun 3 heroes up. Arde's the target. They want the Darkseer gone. And the Darkseer suffering. He'll go for the vacuum though.
MTD.
In comes MTD with the Echo Slam. Landing on 2. They've got Aeon. Aeon will swash away. Still chasing Empyrean. They'll finally take down the Phoenix. That Lil Nick's gone to boot. But Aeon has dropped as MTD. MTD's gone. They found 4 for 1. A great fight for the cut.
They make it work. They just catch out MTD. He was out of mana. He couldn't take that fight. He pops a BKB, forced the TP home, but didn't have enough to try to get some more fissures, try to get the enchants, try to look for that slam in the Roche pit. They're forced to take this fight outside. They line up the song and egg. It's just not enough. Like, MTD comes in, the illusions are all dispersed. They manage to run away and declump quite nicely, forcing only a 2-man out. And it's the side of the cut to get the Aegis off the back of it. Aegis Cheese going their way. And they're back in the game. Those are big cooldowns committed from the side of the Goons. There is still quite a lot on the map to work off of, though. Still a lot of objectives to take, so the Goons aren't in complete danger yet.
Well, Scourge. Scourge. Well, hold on a minute. Bigot's rushing in. Scourge, can he survive this? Like, he has the Aegis up. Problem is, he's just stunned himself. Charge to come out from Sadman. They've actually got Empyrean. Scourge is still alive. Scourge may finally go down. He will lose the Aegis. But they've lost Giant. Both supports dropping now as they do at least get Bigot. Song out. That'll catch the Alchemist and the Darkseer, but it seems like they're just going to leave the area. You will see the TP in from MTD, but they've seen enough. They've got the Aegis. That's more than enough for them for now.
That's massive. That stalls out this momentum the cut wants to dig into these tier 2s, force more aggressive fights. All off the back of Scourge McDuck just playing a little bit more far forward.
MTD. They're following him. Nether Strike will break the Lincolns. They've got the control though with the stun out from Scourge McDuck. MTD is gone. Another great kill from the cut. And MTD suddenly really starting to drop the ball. Like he's died 2 out of the 3 kills that he's had. Or rather, 2 out of the 3 deaths that he's had has been in the last, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Just been back-to-back. It's the chain stuns coming off. It's the fact that they've got so much invis here on the side of the cut, and they have to drop so many sentries here on the side of the American Goons to just feel safe anywhere. Like, the Lincolns can only save you from so much. Once the chain stuns are up, there's no opening for you to pop the BKB. And it's just becoming tough for the Goons to kind of split up and try to play this farm game. They've got to respect the pick-off potential of the cut, and the cut for their part, even after losing Aegis, and they've still got a lot running here. They've still got a lot of space to grow. Maybe not in Scourge McDuck, but certainly on trying to scale up. Bigot now is a little bit of a semi-core, getting more items up on Ade, getting more items up on Aeon, trying to work onto that Ags now on the Pangolier, and does have the Basher, which ties in to all of those chain stuns. And we've got to see American Goons kind of force this fight in their own terms. It feels like all of these fights have been coming out in response to the cut. We haven't seen the Goons dictate any of these fights in a fair bit. You know, it's always been kind of responding to the charges of the cut here. They need to be the ones to dictate. They need to be the ones looking for this ideal position for the Egg Song, for the Echo Slam on NTD. They need to be able to pop their BKBs. They can't afford to try to counterplay it. It's just really dangerous up against the cut right now.
They're going to go for a big spoke up. It seems like they will. 5-man here from the American Goons. Card still hanging out as a unit though. They're down the bot lane. Not splitting up at all. Rotations through the Radiant Triangle from American Goons, but Again, just completely across. Oh, sad man. Sad man. It's going to charge right through them. Actually runs right into MTD now, but do they have the detection for the guy? The answer seems to be no. Sad man is fine.
Not going to be punished. Just clearing out the creep waves. That does stall out any sort of split push that you're trying to do here on the goons while they manage to just shove in that bot themselves. They're starting to clump up here.
They'll break the Lincolns on MTD again with the Nether Strike, not using the charge instead, so... It's still a very low cooldown with the Nether Strike anyway, to be fair. Not too big of a deal here for Sad Man. Here's the group up from the cut, preparing for the defense of the tier 2 top tower. Keep in mind, you do have now a Scythe device available on Empyrean, so some big itemization from the Phoenix. Could make all the difference in this next fight. Still looking for that fight right now, just... Ade, Echo committed, MTD, finding one with that. Really just wanted to kill off Sad Man, but doesn't have enough. Just doesn't have the burst potential anymore.
Now I'm just rather curious, going for the slam instead of just the relying on the enchant. Maybe like expecting a little bit more clumped up, maybe expecting someone to be right by Sad Man, but doesn't find it. They had the Silence the Grave as well in Little Nick. And they could just use Little Nick to initiate, relieve some of that pressure on MTD. Gonna be a minute until that slams up. It's a
Aeon.
It's an open.
Aeon. Aeon.
Oh boy.
Aeon. I mean, that was a very strange way to walk through to the bottom, to the mid lane. Maybe just having a lapse of judgment, and there you go. He's apologizing to the team. So maybe just wasn't watching where his hero was, and now they're going a high ground. Now, just off the back of one mistake like that, you lose your mid laner, and suddenly the high ground's in trouble.
Yeah, doesn't take too long to rip apart either with the damage coming from MTD.
MTD. Oh, this shaker. And they're gonna go for a run. They've had enough. They see the tier 3 tower go down. They're happy with that, it seems. You do have the buyback available on Aeon, and they don't want to risk it.
Yeah, no need to take too many risks here. And might as well just wait for MTD's Daedalus to get some of that burst damage back, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised by his talent choice going for the Fissure range. I'm feeling like he needs to be able to just...
Man.
Don't.
He's going to be okay. Avoids the Nullifier. A bit risky, but does make it out.
Yeah, playing poke. Doing what he can. That Spirit Breaker to just slow down the goons just by any amount he can. They do have the gem on Lil Nick. So as long as this Visage is around, you shouldn't be able to get any of those plays. But it has been a little bit disconnected just a bit here on the side of the American goons. The cut for their part, they're fully slotted up on the Scourge McDuck. They're trying to get this build up for the Blink on Ade to get that Blink back wall going. And again, there's always the potential for free Ags to come out now from Scourge McDuck being fully slotted up. I mean, he has managed to give one away.
Boris. Smoke broken by Sad Man onto Boris. Boris is actually alone right now. Charge out. He actually avoids the stun with the Manta, but still is in a bit of danger as the Ogre Seal Totem allows him to get away from Sad Man. He is fine. McDuck, he's going to make the jump in, but now the egg is there. Hookshot is going to land on nothing from Giant. Landing on nothing. Song out to lock all of them down. Aeon, the Rolling Thunder, it's going to be completely wasted as now the Echo Slam comes in from MTD, locking a couple down, completely surrounding Scourge McDuck, and they've lost the Alchemist by the looks of it. Scourge is gone. Ade caught to boot mid-surge. Still running, but MTD is on the chase, and he's found it. They've got buybacks available. Not so much on Ade, though. Sad Man, he just committed his own buyback, but he might be dying back immediately.
Oh, boy.
That's a big deal. That should be at least 2 lanes of barracks, maybe even just megas.
That it should be. Really quick fingers coming out from Scourge from Oris to dodge out that charge with a Manta to get off the Ogre Seal Totem and just drag that fight out to allow his team to connect. And that wasn't even the ideal team fight for the side of Goons. It felt like there wasn't too much Echo Slam damage coming out from MTD. I think the song was still lingering for like right on the cast of the slam. Just didn't matter. They had the AoE control, they had the damage coming out, the team was clumped up. That is all the racks going down here if you're not careful.
Stun up once. The Raindrax is still standing, so no Megas incoming. They'll try for Lil Nick, but the Scythe device out from Ade. Gonna lock down Scourge McDuck. Lil Nick will be okay to walk out. And the Familiars will finish off the Raindrax. So Megas are now incoming. The Goons in a very, very powerful position. All they've got to do is not throw the game. That's all that's necessary now.
It's a tall order sometimes, Mikey. You know, we've seen it in Southeast Asia. We're in NA. You never know what happens in NA. The Goons, though, they're an experienced squad. Should be able to calm down. You know, the giant play now is to just be calm. Think about the giant plays of the future if you win. Just calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited.
Just think about John. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. And the pillar of this team, him and Empyrean. I saw a couple of copy passes about Empyrean as well. Heck, I see the Degenerate squad in chat. I think I saw someone saying the Torn, and I'm like, Torn Dota?
How do you
That's a
just
person I
say
haven't played with.
You just say Degenerate squad like we're meant to know who that, like what squad this is.
Oh, it's
like
just
they're a boy
it's
band
just,
or something.
They're like immortal players in NA, friends from Echo League. They really are. They used to be degenerates. They're not quite as degenerate now.
Well, they get jobs.
Age does that. No, you just age up. You know, you age out of degeneracy sometimes, for the most part.
Well, what age are you going to get out of it, John?
Nah, when I'm dead. They left the cheese. That's pretty degenerate. Come on, Giant. There you go.
There you go. Giant's got it. Giant understands. You need a giant stomach for a cheese like that, Jonathan. Only Giant had the capability of picking up that cheese.
Who got the Ags? I'm trying to check. Okay, it was Giant as well. Who got the Ags? Of course, he gets everything.
Well, of course he does, John. It's Giant. Scourge McDuck. Let's see the defense to come. This is game one. Like, you lose game one, you're not out of the tournament by any stretch, but you are going to have that one game disadvantage going into game two, and that never feels nice. And you and I, we've casted a lot of 2-0s recently, so it's probably not the best as the Echo Slam. MTD.
Oh, the crit!
He's taken down Aeon, and he crits him down. There is buyback, though. He will commit immediately. Sadman, he's charged in. He's trying to force the fight. They'll drop the vacuum. They'll drop the wall, but they're losing Giant. The clockwork's gone. Giant is down. Boris, he's going to pop the song eventually and try to get his way out of this because Scourge is just chasing him up on the Alchemist. Eventually, they will get put to sleep as now the turnaround might be there because the BKB's worn off. And they've controlled up the Alchemist. Scourge McDuck. He is still running. He will barely make it for now. But can they keep the fight going? Sadman getting crit again by MTD. MTD, he's a huge issue, this Earthshaker. He's just critting everyone. Ade surviving for now. But for how long? Run, Ade. Get out of there. Meanwhile, Giant, he's brought back. He's back into the fight. More buybacks to come. Scourge still trying, goes back on a Boris. Boris is just fine, though. We'll just walk away. Tier 4 tower time. It's a 4v5. They've still got the Aegis up. It's very hard to see them losing this one, but they're going to try again. Scourge McDuck jumping in onto MTD. MTD, he's got that secondary life. He won't mind dying the first time, but will he even die once? Look at the damage. Scourge is gone. GG is called. Sadman has seen enough. And what a game one coming out from the American Goons. They made it look kind of easy.
That they did. There's a little bit of back and forth, you know.